Picture this. It's a random Tuesday morning in 2026. You're halfway through your second cup of coffee, half listening to a podcast when your phone buzzes with an email from HR. Subject line, position eliminated, effective immediately. No meeting, no severance worth mentioning, just a calendar invite that never happened and a link to file for unemployment.
In that moment, the world doesn't stop spinning, but your income does. And in today's economy, where the unemployment rate is hovering around 4.3%, but job growth has slowed to a crawl, entire sectors are quietly shrinking, and the average person now spends 5 to 6 months looking for their next role. Everything changes faster than you ever imagined. Hey everyone, my name is Nico, and I spend way too much time thinking about money. The kind of late-night, spreadsheet staring, what-if thinking that most people avoid until it's too late. If you're new here at Nico Decodes, welcome. Smash that subscribe button and drop a like if this scenario feels a little too close to home. And if you've been around a while, you already know we tell it like it is. No fluff, no get-rich-quick nonsense, just the uncomfortable truths that actually help you build real financial freedom.
The brutal reality is this. Losing your job in 2026 isn't the temporary setback it used to be. It's a full system stress test on your entire life, your housing, your relationships, your credit, your mental health, and your long-term wealth. And the scary part? Most people are nowhere near ready. Let's look at the numbers that keep me up at night. Right now, roughly 7.2 million Americans are officially unemployed. But the real picture is wider. Add in the underemployed, the discouraged workers who've stopped looking, and the millions living paycheck to paycheck, and you're talking about a silent majority who are one bad month away from the same cliff. Recent surveys show 57 to 67% of Americans say they're living paycheck to paycheck. For millennials and Gen Z, the core of our audience, that number climbs to 65 to 72%.
Even worse, the median emergency savings sitting in American bank accounts right now? Around $500. Some studies put the average a bit higher, but when you drill into liquid cash that's actually earmarked for emergencies and not already mentally spent on next month's bills, the number collapses. Only 46% of people have enough saved to cover 3 months of expenses. Just 27% have 6 months. That means the majority of us are hoping, praying that nothing bad ever happens. But it does, every single day. And when it hits, the dominoes fall fast. I've talked to hundreds of people who've been through this exact moment. Let me tell you about 2 of them, because their stories show exactly why everything changes and how different the outcomes can be. First, there's Marcus, 37, mid-level project manager at a logistics company. $78,000 salary, nice apartment in the suburbs, leased truck, 2 kids and after-school activities, and a credit card he told himself he'd pay off after the next bonus. He had about $800 in true emergency savings. When the company announced restructuring in late 2025 and his role disappeared, he figured he'd land something in 6 weeks. Week 1, he felt optimistic, updated his LinkedIn, applied to 20 jobs a day. Week 3, the $800 was gone. Groceries went on the card. By month 2, he was $4,200 in credit card debt. The truck payment was late, and his wife was quietly crying in the bathroom because they couldn't afford the kids' soccer fees. His credit score dropped 120 points. Job interviews slowed because employers could see the gap. It took him 8 months to land a new role at $12,000 less per year. The financial hole he's still climbing out of, it'll take another 4 years. The marriage strain, they're still working through it. Now, meet Priya. Same age, same city, similar salary. But 2 years earlier, she watched a video just like this one and decided enough was enough. She calculated her true monthly burn rate, $3,800 after taxes for rent, food, car, insurance, minimum debt payments, and the basics. She opened a high-yield savings account and automated $400 every paycheck into it.
She cut the subscriptions she never used, negotiated her car insurance down $40 a month, and started a small freelance consulting side hustle on weekends that brought in an extra $600 most months.
When her company did the same restructuring, she had $14,000 sitting there, almost 4 full months of runway. She took her time, networked properly, landed a role in 6 weeks at a 15% raise. The difference between Marcus and Priya wasn't luck, it was preparation. One person got crushed by the system, the other used the system's chaos as rocket fuel. So why does this happen to so many smart, capable people? It's not because they're bad with money. It's because our brains are wired against this exact scenario.
We suffer from present bias, the psychological tendency to heavily discount future problems in favor of today's comfort. I'll start saving seriously next month becomes next year, then never. Lifestyle inflation is the silent killer. Every raise, every bonus, every "I deserve this" DoorDash order or upgraded phone plan quietly eats the margin you need for safety. We normalize living on the edge because everyone around us is doing the same thing. Social media shows the highlight reel, never the credit card statements.
And then there's the deepest trap, the illusion of stability. The job market was strong for a while. Wages ticked up. We told ourselves, "I'm valuable. Companies need people like me." Recency bias at its finest. But 2026 is different. Job creation has slowed dramatically. Some sectors, finance, certain tech roles, even parts of government are shedding positions. AI is quietly handling more entry-level and mid-level tasks. The average time to land a new job after a layoff is now 5 to 6.5 months. That's not a gap on your resume anymore. That's a financial and emotional earthquake.
Here's where the real cost shows up, the opportunity cost that compounds for decades. Let's run the numbers on a typical person in our audience. Say your essential monthly expenses are $3,800. You lose your job with only $1,000 in true emergency cash. In less than 2 weeks, you're on credit cards. You rack up $8,000 in new debt over 4 months while searching. At 21% average credit card APR, if you only make minimum payments, that debt will cost you over $15,000 in interest before it's gone, and take 8 to 10 years.
If you're forced to pull from a 401k to survive, you pay penalties plus lose decades of compounding. A $15,000 withdrawal at age 35 can easily cost you $180,000 to $250,000 in future retirement wealth. Your credit score takes a hit, which means higher interest on your next car, your next home, even some jobs that run background checks. Your kids feel the stress. Your health suffers from the cortisol, and the mental load, the constant low-grade panic, steals your focus, your creativity, your ability to show up as the best version of yourself at interviews. All of that because you didn't have 6 months of runway. But here's the good news, the part that actually gives me hope. Everything can change in the other direction if you decide today that you're done being unprepared. The fix isn't complicated, it's just uncomfortable at first. Start with the rule that actually works in 2026. Build 6 months of essential expenses in a high-yield savings account that you never touch unless you lose income. For most of you watching, that's $20,000 to $28,000 depending on your situation. Sounds huge? It is until you break it down.
Step 1. Calculate your real number. Pull your last 3 months of bank statements and list only the non-negotiables: housing, food, transportation, minimum debt payments, insurance, utilities. Ignore the fun stuff for this exercise. That's your monthly burn rate. Step 2. Open a separate high-yield savings account today. Even in 2026, you can still find 4% plus APY options that are FDIC insured. Set up an automatic transfer of 10 to 15% of every paycheck the day it hits your account. You won't miss what you never see. Step 3. Plug the leaks. Audit every subscription, every automatic payment, every small expense. Most people find $150 to $300 a month they can redirect without feeling deprived. That's $1,800 to $3,600 a year towards your fund. Step 4. Create a small income cushion now. In 2026, the people who thrive are the ones with multiple income streams. It doesn't have to be a full side business. One viewer started offering weekend consulting in his industry and added $700 a month. Another learned basic handyman skills through free YouTube videos and now clears $400 to $600 on Craigslist gigs. The goal isn't to get rich, it's to make the emergency fund build itself faster. Step 5. Protect your most valuable asset, your ability to earn. In a softening job market, invest in skills that stay human. Clear communication, sales, complex problem-solving, caregiving, trades, or specialized knowledge that AI still can't replicate reliably. Update your resume and LinkedIn profile this month, not after the layoff notice arrives. Network before you need to. The best time to build relationships is when you don't desperately need a favor.
Do these things and something magical happens. You stop living in quiet fear. You negotiate harder at work because you know you can walk away. You sleep better. Your relationship improves. And when the inevitable layoff or economic dip hits, and it will hit someone, you're not the one drowning. You're the one who lands on their feet, often in a better position than before. That's the long game most people miss. Your 20s and 30s aren't just about climbing the corporate ladder. They're the decades where small, consistent actions create massive asymmetry. Building that emergency fund now doesn't just protect you from disaster. It gives you options, leverage, and peace of mind that money can't buy later when compounding has already done its work against you.
I've seen the transformation in real time. People who used to feel constantly behind suddenly show up differently, calmer, more confident, more in control. One viewer told me after building his 6-month fund that he finally felt like an adult instead of a kid playing grown-up. That identity shift is everything. So here's my question for you. If you lost your job tomorrow, how many weeks or months could you actually last before the panic set in? Be honest with yourself. Most of us know the answer is shorter than we'd like to admit.
The good news is you don't have to stay in that position. The same economy that makes job loss scarier also rewards preparation more than ever. Small steps today, automating that transfer, canceling 2 subscriptions, opening that account, create the freedom you've been craving. If this video hit you in the gut the way I hoped it would, do 3 things right now. First, like it and subscribe so you never miss the next uncomfortable truth that might just save your financial life. Second, drop in the comments how many months of expenses you currently have saved. I read every single one, and the community accountability is powerful. Third, check the description for my free emergency fund calculator and the full playlist on escaping the paycheck to paycheck trap for good.
You're not powerless. You're just one decision away from changing the entire trajectory of your life. The people who prepare in 2026 are the ones who will look back in 2036 and say that was the year everything actually got better. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, the best time to build your safety net was yesterday. The second best time is right now.